So, if you have amongst your listeners, your viewers, investors who are looking for opportunities in Nigeria, we have opportunities in Nigeria. That's one that would probably roll out at about £250,000. I have another one at $1 million, which is to make a factory producing noodles in Ibadan using local produce.
Wow!
Creating a new brand that will compete with the existing brands. But
yeah.
I think that people in Africa, people in Nigeria, do not necessarily have enough noodles. You can't say that the market is oversupplied with noodles.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are all sorts of levels, and whether you want to do something for £4,000, £5,000, £6,000, whether you want to do something from £30,000 to £50,000, whether you want to do something from £1 million to £2 million, we have opportunities coming through. So again, for the diaspora, for the people who are out there who are thinking, I'm here, I'm committed to my 9 to 5, I have my children in school or anything at home, then what is your dream? Share your dream with us, and we will help you to find the right business partners, the right funders to enable you to take that forward.
That's absolutely.
And this brings me back to a very important point. I was talking about the diaspora, and I mentioned the 300,000. 300,000 people who've been here for 20 years. Maybe, just maybe, they've managed, apart from all the money they've sent in remittances, to save £1,000 a year. Maybe in their house they have equity. It's possible to say that maybe they have 20,000. If 300,000 Africans in the UK have 20,000, the figure is 6 billion. £6 billion ready for investment in Africa.
Wow.
Now, if you could take 30,000 and make 100,000 in 1 year, if you could take 6,000 on the machine, we mentioned yet, and make £10,000, 30,000, $10,000, 30,000 pounds, 20,000 out of your 6,000, and you're feeding people as well. These are business opportunities that are just waiting for someone to make a difference in their own community.
That's a lot of money sitting down in pockets, in banks' accounts. It's a lot of investment that could be going to the right place.
No, Jermain, you have a very smart bow tie there. I really like it. It's very bright, very memorable. And you have a matching Ferrari that goes with it.
Ah, yes. On my vision board, you understand? I'm envisioning it every day.
When you go by bicycle?
No, the Ferrari's on its way. They're getting it ready in the dealership.
Teasing you because I want to tell you about a bicycle.
Wow.
Now, which bicycle can you get from Halfords that will save 40 million lives in Africa next year? Well, the answer is you can buy lots of bikes in Halfords, but it won't necessarily save 40 million lives in Africa. There is a project called Zambulance from Zambia,
wow,
which is a bicycle with a trailer, and the trailer has a mattress and it has a cover. And if you go to Google and you put Zambulance, you will find a little YouTube clip which will show you about the Zambulance.
Zambulance.
Okay. Zambulance is saving a life every 9 days in the villages where it is being used in Zambia.
That's amazing.
If there are 1 million villages in Africa and they all save a life every 9 days, that's 40 lives each times 1 million. That's 40 million lives in Africa being saved by someone investing in a bicycle with a trailer.
Bicycle can make such a great difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Now, if you live in Lagos, you don't necessarily need a bicycle. You probably want an ambulance with 2 lights and a siren and all the rest of that. But perhaps even because of the traffic, a helicopter would be better.
Absolutely. Style.
Yeah, exactly. So You know, this is what British African is about. It's about understanding what Africans need in their current environment, how they act as a catalyst to make those needs, to fulfill those needs, to find ways to make things happen.
Awesome.
And I want to finish with a story about a village in Uganda.
Yeah.
The village in Uganda is on the main road between Kampala and Kigali in Rwanda. And many of you will have heard about gorillas in the mist and Sigourney Weaver. And lots of people go to visit the gorillas to see the power of these beautiful, beautiful animals. I've not been myself, so I don't know. But I'm talking about the village.
Yeah.
There's a lady who lives in London who is helping that village to grow. And what they've identified is that they need what we would call here a motorway service station. Actually, it's a coffee shop and it's a toilet block, perhaps with showers, and it's a car servicing area where you can get your car repaired. Because it's 50 miles to the nearest town, which if your car is broken, that's a long way. And so what they're thinking is that they can turn their village into a motorway service station. Sorry, a stopping, a rest area where you can get juice, coffee, where you can get chicken. Well, I suggested chicken. She says, no, these people are too poor for chicken. Uganda imports chicken from Brazil.
Yeah. Some parts of Uganda, are too poor. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so I have a doctor who works here, who with her husband, who is a former bank manager, wants to grow their chicken hatchery in Uganda from 3,000 birds to 20,000 birds. They're looking for $200,000.
Wow.
The opportunities are there. They are here on your doorstep. It is for the diaspora to come together, to join groups like our group in Leeds, like our group in Manchester, like our group in Birmingham, like our group here in London, and to begin to talk about what they can do for their community. And the village that doesn't have chicken at the moment, a highway with 1 million tourists going past.
Wow.
If they stop each way and they spend $5, that is a 10 million business opportunity. $10 million business opportunity. Now that, to me, is maybe they get 5% the first year. Maybe they get 10%. Maybe they get 20%. What would $2 million mean to that village? Opportunity is for the diaspora to come together to look at how it can work with organizations like British African to enable them to make a real difference to the way in which things go forward in Africa. It's not just about roads and dams and office buildings. It's about villages and people.
Yeah.
It's about what does this village produce? How can we help the people there become self-sufficient?
Exactly. You're absolutely correct. In the African community, because Mr. David has mentioned a big figure, 200,000, £1 million. He also mentioned £3,000. You must understand that it's always better to do it together, not doing it alone. You know, and in the British African Business Association, you have an opportunity to collaborate with like minds, like investors who will actually make your business dreams, business ideas, your realities. So Mr. David is the man to contact for that. So would you like to give some inspirational, maybe a message or advice to businesses out there and also startup entrepreneurs on how to move their business forward before we round up the show? I really appreciate that.
Okay. Last November, I spoke at a Nigerian diaspora network meeting, and a gentleman from Birmingham approached me at the end of the meeting and said, David, I really like what you're saying. I want to be part of this. We eventually met in February, and he told me about his business idea. And the following day I was in Peckham. And I was talking to one of my contacts about his business idea. And he said, you must meet William in Croydon. He also wants to join. And William is established in in that industry. And I said to William, would you please speak to Francis in Birmingham? Oh, who's this Nigerian? Where's he from? Which tribe is he? What does he want? I said, William, he's a member. You're a member. Pick up the phone and speak to him. He wants your knowledge. He wants your advice. He wants to see whether you can help him do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And as a result, they had a conversation, and they come from neighboring villages.
Yeah.
They come from neighboring villages. They would never meet if it wasn't for British African putting them together. British African provides an opportunity for people in the diaspora to come together and talk about business, to come together and look at investment opportunities, to come and talk about how to turn a dream into a reality, how to make a difference on the ground, how to do something about saving lives, how to do something about creating wealth. And if I can end with a challenge, what is it that you are doing to employ 10 people in Africa in the next 12 months? What do you need to do to employ 10 people? Because if we get 3,000 employing 10 people, if we get 30,000 employing 10 people, if we get 300,000 employing 10 people, if we get 3 million employing 10 people, that's 30 million people employed. If each are feeding 6 people, that is 18 million people who move away from subsistence existence into something that is more powerful and more filled with opportunity than they have at the moment. That's where I'd like to leave you with an inspirational thought. I hope you find that inspiring, Jermain.
That's more than inspiring. That is really empowering, because you're all about generating opportunities for people, not just yourself. So guys, you've heard the challenge from Mr. David. What are you going to do to employ 10 people in the next 12 months in Africa? Your motherland, your fatherland, you got to give back. You know, you're enjoying here, spread the love and share the love with other people too. I really do appreciate you, Mr. David, for this interview on the Business Show. And I know that subsequently we have more with you, because you always have business opportunities and ideas that you like to share with the diaspora community and even the global audience watching this show. Guys, visit the website, and in fact, tell us about your website. Where can we reach you? Your contact details, Twitter, Facebook, and website.
Very, very simple. If you go to britishafrican.org, britishafrican.org, that's where you can find us. If you go to the membership page, you can sign up today for a membership, and we will start to introduce you to people and business opportunities immediately. If you've got a business idea to bring forward, we'll help you bring that forward. So that's all you have to do. britishafrican.org. Become a member, and we go from there.
Awesome. britishafrican.org is a place to go to. Right now, your computer, Google it, search it, become a member and join this British African Business Association. Is a place to join, because you will get a lot of information, and most importantly, the right network. We Africans normally say it is who you know that matters. Get connections. And with Mr. David's platform, you're able to get the right connections to put your business ideas to the next level. I really appreciate you, Mr. David, once again for coming on board. And also, guys, remember to visit our website, www.thebusinessshow.com, where you can find out more information and more videos that will actually empower you to generate opportunities for yourself and for those around you. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'd like to say a big thank you to Mr. David Smith for this interview, and I really appreciate your heart, your spirit. You're my brother, and you're my African Baba.
Thank you so much, Jermain. It's been great talking to you this morning.
It's been great talking to you too. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and stay empowered. And thanks for watching the Business Show with Jermain.